Good morning, Paul and Bhargav. It's Friday, the 23rd March. Here's the heads up brief for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 18 issues. In North Asia, we covered 7. For the Australasian and Pacific Islands, we covered 8. In South Asia, we covered 13 issues, plus the major issues in Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
All right, thanks. Go ahead and give us the main issues we need on our plate. Thanks.
Paul, in Indonesia, tensions are high in Konawe in Southeast Sulawesi. This is after Indonesian workers who were protesting over wage and work safety issues clashed with Chinese workers on the behest of management. The company, PT Virtue Dragon Nickel Industry, has seen violent protests over labor issues in the last few years. In January, a similar incident also happened in Modowali in central Sulawesi.
Okay, thanks.
In Timor-Leste, political tensions are escalating between the government and the opposition as they're fighting over who to appoint as the new anti-corruption head. The National Congress for Timorese Reconstruction has been boycotting votes, and Parliament notified their members for a loss of mandate due to absences. The CNRT has rejected the Parliament statements. This comes ahead of the May 21st parliamentary elections.
Yeah, I believe they're trying to actually change the government's trying to change the quorum required now. Is that correct?
It seems to be, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
In Thailand, the opposition Move Forward Party has called on the National Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate officials at the criminal courts. This is after these officials revoked an arrest warrant against a senator who's been connected to a Myanmarese arms dealer. The arms dealer has links to the junta in Myanmar. The Thai senator also owns the property where the United Thai Nations is using as its headquarters in Bangkok. The Move Forward Party had previously called for the property to be seized.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Lastly, in the region, Paul, the Australian Federal Police charged 5 people of a transnational crime syndicate that it had been monitoring for several months. The gang was transporting drugs from Papua New Guinea to Australia. It was from Wololo in Papua New Guinea to Mosto in Queensland. The gang apparently flew at low altitudes to avoid radar and didn't use transponders. Police in Papua New Guinea arrested a Chinese suspect in Lae on the 22nd of March in connection to the same case.
Okay, this actual location, Bololo, there's some significance to that. I'll brief you next week offline, okay?
Sure. In South Asia, in Pakistan, authorities have delayed the Punjab elections, which were scheduled to be held on April the 30th to October. This is over security concerns. The opposition is saying that this is in violation of the constitution. Imran Khan has also claimed that authorities will attempt a false flag operation to assassinate him.
Okay, good, thanks.
Sorry, Paul, if I may interject here, the political tensions in Pakistan specifically are high, and things are going to get worse if such a cancellation happens so close to the announced elections. And Pakistan has a history of assassinating its prominent politicians, starting with the first prime minister, and the latest one was very popular, Benazir Bhutto in 2007-8. So we'll have to have a closer look on this in the coming weeks. Imran Khan is not wrong in anticipating a false flag attack, especially when military is in cahoots with the civilian administration in center.
Thanks, Bhargav. In India, the leader of the Indian National Congress, Rahul Gandhi, was sentenced to 2 years in prison for insulting Prime Minister Modi's name. The case is over a statement that Rahul Gandhi made in an election rally 4 years ago, in which he was listing names of well-known Indian fugitives who also share the same last name. He said that the Modis are stealing from India. The verdict by the court has been criticized by every opposition party and lots of civil society organizations, and protests have broken out.
So, Paul, this actually reflects the current trend in the ruling party, that is BJP, targeting the opposition parties, the prominent leaders in the opposition parties. It started with Manish Sisodia, who was the home minister in Delhi government, and now it has come down to Rahul Gandhi, who was already in the media for all his statements in London and in Cambridge. it is very tempting to say that they are false cases, but there is no smoke without fire. And this particular case is a defamation, which is a legitimate one. So it all plays into the hands of the ruling party, and they're using it to their advantage.
Okay. Thanks, Bhargav. Moving over to the Europe, Middle East, and Africa region. In France, tension over pension reforms are escalating. Violent protests continue in various cities across the countries. Authorities have warned of fuel shortages at airports. Protesters also disrupted movement to the airport in Paris yesterday. Another round of strikes will take place on the 28th of March, and violent protests and disruptions will continue over the weekend. We're releasing an advisory on this.
Okay, thanks.
Regarding the Russia-Ukrainian conflict, Slovakia sent 4 MiG-29 fighter jets to Ukraine and will deliver another 9 in the coming weeks. Ukraine is expected to launch a counteroffensive also in the coming weeks with the new equipment, including tanks that it has got from the West. President Zelensky has warned that the war would last years if the West does not speed up the supply of long-range missiles, aircraft, weapons, and other military systems.
Well, I mean, what's going to undermine that particular statement by Zelensky is if it lasts years, he'll run out of people. And if NATO or Europe or America and its Five Eye allies wants to actually put troops in there, then it may be a trigger for more serious issues such as nuclear war. But the losses being sustained, despite the Western media saying Russia's nearly out of forces, the Ukraine's in a more perilous situation. Thanks, Uday.
Thanks, Paul and Bhargav. That's the brief for today. Anything else from you?
Not from me. Thank you.